Good morning, friends. So excited to be with you all this morning. I'm going to start out with a little freedom chant. Tell you the words. Sometimes I have to sing it through to get the words out, but it's God is my strength. He is my power, and He makes my way perfect. And I want to sing this in a lot of different ways. God being your kind of version of God, the God in us, the divinity in all of us together, that energy, your particular faith for your personal self, and also just the power of community when we gather together is bigger, and we can call that God. I'm also going to use lots of pronouns. The first time through, I'm going to say he, then I'm going to use she, then I'm going to use they, and then I'm going to say you. So we can get all of that in there in our experience of the divine this morning and our experience of community. And the last part about making your way perfect doesn't mean without problem. Perfect to me means the low parts get lifted up and the high parts get put down so that then your way is straight. So that doesn't mean it won't be hard and a little stumbly, but God, the divine, is able to make our way perfect. As we look back on it, we can say, oh, that terrible thing that happened, I hate that it happened, and also, it took me to a new place. That wonderful thing that happened, oh, it was wonderful, but it also led me in a place I wouldn't have gone otherwise. Putting those things together is the idea of perfection that I'm using this morning. God is my strength, He is my power, and He makes my way perfect. God is my strength, He is my power, and He makes my way perfect. God is my strength, He is my power, and He makes my way perfect. God is my strength, she is my power, and she makes my way perfect. She is my strength, she is my power, and she makes my way perfect. God is my strength, she is my power, and she makes my way perfect. God is my strength, they are my power, and they make my way perfect. They are my strength, they are my power, and they make my way perfect. God is my strength, they are my power, and they make my way perfect. You are my strength, you are my power, and you make my way perfect. You are my strength, you are my power, and you make my way perfect. God is my strength, you are my power, and you make my way perfect.
If you'll turn in your silver hymnals to number 347, we'll sing Gather the Spirit.
Good morning. I'm Riley Lanier and serve on the Board of Trustees. Quite a few members of our board are counting down the days to the end of service on that. Well, I got another year and they're going to have to put up with me another year. Welcome to UUCS. We're glad you're here. At UUCS, we strive to be a beloved community of warmth, love, and support across our differences. If you are visiting this morning, we would love to meet with you. There's a visitor's card found in the pocket of the back of the seat in front of you. Please feel welcome to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during the service so we connect with you. There is a whole lot happening here. There's a whole separate addition page to the program that tells you everything that's going on, and there's kind of a summary sheet at the end of the order of service. A couple things I want to highlight though. Throughout the summer until August 31st, we begin a experiment with intergenerational enrichment time the hour before our 11 o'clock service. The church will open at 9:30 for coffee and greeting. At 10 a.m., we gather together for centering. Then we will join several breakout groups. We have a music jam, knitting and crocheting, arts and crafts, outdoor games, indoor games, and coffee and conversation. Child care will be provided from 9:45 to 12:15 so that parents, children, and youth may all experience enrichment. The idea comes out of 2 years of our mission vision covenant dialogue, in which one of the top priorities is to find more ways to have fun and be together intergenerationally. And this is the third year of that planning. Remember, this is an experiment, not necessarily work as planned there, for eternity. There may be some bumps in the road, but we have experienced many times before, if we listen to each other, slow down and talk with each other, and most of all, help each other, we will find the future for all of us. And I'm excited to say there will be a celebration after the service today. It'll be kind of a twofold celebration. Everyone is invited to both a celebration of the 10-year anniversary of marriage equality. And in March of this year, Stacy and Melanie, they've been married for 10 years. So the date of marriage equality was June 26th, so we're celebrating today. This event will be a potluck party. So bring a dish in if you can. Of course, this is rather short notice for that now.
There's plenty of food, Raleigh.
Great. If you would like to add to the celebration with your own union, please talk to Stacy or Peggy Hamrick. Please, everyone come. And thank you all for making this place a place of kindness, care, and love.
Good morning. I'm Mary Underwood. I'm your worship associate this morning. It's nice to see you all. For our chalice lighting this morning, we're going to read a couple of different quotes about bliss. From the Hindu tradition, the world is created out of bliss, by bliss, and for bliss. From the scholar of mythology and comparative religions, Joseph Campbell, follow your bliss and don't be afraid, and doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. Doors will open for you that would not have opened for anyone else. And from the theologian Frederick Buechner, vocation is the place where our deep gladness meets the world's deep need.
If you'll turn in your in your silver hymnals to number 353, Golden Breaks the Dawn. This is a fairly new song for us, so I'm going to play it through once so you can get the tune, and then we'll sing the two verses.
comes the time for one of our most sacred rituals, our rippling bowl. A bowl of water lays before us, surrounded by shells and stones that can come to symbolize whatever it is that we need them to symbolize. Our joys, our sorrows, anything within us that we would like to share with the community or have the community hold. Please come forward as you like and can and put a shell or a rock in the bowl, watching it ripple out throughout the community for whatever reason, whether you're virtual or you wish to not get up for any reason. Please know that we still want to hold whatever you want to share. Just focus that energy from your heart to this community and help us all know that we are never alone. We are not a faith with dogma to guide us. But that does not mean that we're just floating around willy-nilly. We have made, we chose, and created, and continue to make a promise to ourselves, to one another, and to the world at large every week, our covenant. Please join me. With courage, we say, we are a people of faith and hope. Together we covenant to strive to become our better selves, to honor both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of a love beyond belief. Now comes the time where we greet one another. If this is your first time experiencing the holy chaos, then please know wherever your comfort level is welcome, whether that is exuberant hugs all the way to sitting and waving at people. wherever you feel the most comfort in your own skin within the connection of this community. And please do your best when the music starts back to come to your seats. Thank you. So this is a church, a community that runs on the power of all of the gifts that each of us individually bring and the synergy that the combination of those gifts creates. There's so many ways that we can give. There's so many ways we do give in our time and our talents and our ideas and our visions in hard manual labor as well as material gifts. Now is the time where we share our material gifts. As the plates come around, please give what you can comfortably give. even if that is only your well wishes at this moment in time. Our Share the Plate this month is SCUJA, the South Carolina Unitarian Universalist Justice Alliance. The leader came and spoke with us last week, was very motivating and very powerful. Any loose gifts, half will be shared with SCUJA. If you want to specifically give to SCUJA, please use one of the envelopes and specifically state that. Thank you, as always, for all that you give to this place.
I'd just like to say really quickly, if you were fortunate enough to attend the service for Nancy Manlove yesterday, it was a very beautiful celebration of a life, very well lived, quite a woman. But I was fortunate enough to do this song. We had to record it because Geraldine had some family things going on, but I was fortunate enough to be able to back her. And if you get a chance to, apparently you can find this on Facebook, or if you're a member, you have been sent the link. It's very well worth listening to. Her voice sends chills up my back, and I ain't no Geraldine, but I'll do my best. And again, this is for you, Nancy. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. Everybody, there is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn. A time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace. A time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is is the season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. Y'all sang that prettier than I do.
We all have gifts, and we urge one another to share our gifts. Ron has such an extraordinary gift for music, but a very particular gift for sing-alongs. This is the second Sunday that he's been here and called us all into singing. The third time you come, Ron, I think we're going to have a whole chorus of Muppets up here with you, too. Let's give Ron a round of applause for all that he's done. We have gifts to share, and I want to make sure that you are attentive to two other gifts. One is a gift that Davlin Hill brings to us. Davlin's been a friend of our congregation for several years now and has preached here several times. Such a gentle and provocative force in our world, for which we give thanks. And Davlin is working to complete her licensure as a therapist. She has a master's in marriage and family therapy, and she has hours to complete supervised therapy so that she can practice privately, and she is asked to do that in our congregation. So beginning tomorrow, she will be here a couple of days a week. Her information is in the happenings. And if you are not sure where to find that, I'm happy to share it with you. She is here to serve with us and also members of the community. You don't have to be at UCS to access the care that she offers. And I want to particularly mention my gratitude to the other therapists that are in this congregation, with whom I visited and talked in preparation for this, and who understand what Davlin is doing and the importance of it. Importance of supporting her joining their professional ranks and seeing this not as competition but as expansion. I am very grateful that people whose own livelihood depends on maintaining a clientele would see value in helping someone else develop relationships with people that they can serve. So not only for Davlin, but for all of these folks, how about a round of applause? And I would just say, I've spent a lot of time in a lot of meetings with a lot of you, and you need therapy, so please come and see Davlin. Me too. Me too. After the service, there is a banquet. Yes. It is already prepared below us. All you have to do is descend through the floor or use the stairs. It is to celebrate 10th anniversary of marriage equality. Notably falling at the end of another session of the Supreme Court, and to celebrate our beloved Stacey Jackson and Melanie Osmond and their wedding anniversary. And all of us who know the joys and the challenges and the value of sustained relationship. All of us. To urge you to come. It doesn't matter if you brought something. There's plenty. What matters is that there's nothing left at the end of it. So please come and serve your community by eating the food. Please come. Share silence with me. a little more joy. I feel no small amount of pride that this is a congregation where we challenge ourselves to ask difficult and probing questions. Those persistent questions that urge our being forward to discover new horizons and new ways of being and new ways of making this multiverse a place of thriving for all. The persistent question that we have been asking this month is, what are you going to do with your balloon? Mindful that we treat our balloons like we treat people, with compassion, because we want them to expand in their being. Oh. Can't have been a person with the highest level of education in the entire congregation that popped his balloon, can it? Trying to help each being expand, but not explode. Maybe you should be thinking about what you do with your balloons. We've been trying to build a youth group here for several years, and we now have almost 300 members. Now with great mirth and reckless joy, slowly embrace the balloon in front of you and share with it your stillness and silence. In upstate South Carolina, we celebrate Pride all year long, but with festivals twice a year, not just once. This has caused some confusion for folks who have moved to our community, who wonder, where are the Pride celebrations? Because there are too many to keep track of. One celebration happens here in Spartanburg in November because of the leadership of this congregation bringing that to Spartanburg years ago when our sister cities were shut down from trying to start these celebrations. But June is Pride Month, and yesterday was the celebration of Pride. And our baby sister city, Greenville, don't say that about Greenville. Our beloved twin sister city, Greenville, hosted Pride, Black Pride, So in upstate South Carolina, we celebrate Pride twice, and one of those is Black Pride, to center people of color in the LGBTQ plus community, because racism is pervasive in our culture, including even in marginalized communities. And so leaders of that organization, Upstate Pride SC, saw an opportunity in doubling our celebrations to make one center people of color, particularly Black people of color. It's a beautiful celebration. And yesterday morning, all of the festivities began with an interfaith service. There are folks here today who led that service. Not just participated, but led it. And have been doing that twice a year at each of the festivals for the last several years, building a small and growing tradition of gathering folks before all of the other marches and festivals begin for the day, to have a time of community, of going to the heart, and of saying publicly, spiritual goodness and power are here. Love is here. And anyone who would speak against that has lost the way. So we are here to show you the more excellent path, to show you the more excellent way of love. I was privileged to stand in that company yesterday. And I looked at each of those leaders, some leading us in song, some in readings, inviting the congregation into readings, like a Ron Fowler sing-along. I looked at the colors that they wore, the colors that they wear of their being and the colors that they wear of their chosen clothing, the colors of their full selves. And I listened to them reflect on how it was that they had come to be there that morning. In stories that they told and in hints that they offered, ways that they had traveled in their lives to be there as leaders. Hard choices, dangerous challenges, but through it all, joy. A small and then growing and then bursting awareness. Like a balloon so full of life, it cannot remain within the confines of its balloonness, and it wants to expand into the entire universe. A sense of self and purpose that is ecstasy. To be who you really are in the world and to give expression of that to the world. Joy in the person moving through all challenges and the way that that joy spreads. We all have lives with obligations and duties, things that we must do. Basic function of being in the world. And responsibilities that we have claimed or that have been asked of us that in some way we need to fulfill. That as we go through learning how to live and how to fulfill those duties that have been asked of us and that we sense, there's something else that we start to become aware of. Sometimes at a very young age, and sometimes much later, depending on our life circumstances. Sometimes when life has been hard, we can barely sense it. It is like a golden thread. Something there in us, persistent, that asks us just to pull. Something that we love to do, some way that we are, some way that we love. And when we pull that thread, we feel it gain in strength. We feel something move inside of us. And whatever the external pressures are, whatever the duties imposed on us or that we've assumed, however right or wrong they may be, and man, it can be a cluttered mess of responsibilities, there is this thing more and more undeniable that we feel. And the more we work with it, the more we pull that thread and feel it become a cord in our being, some central thing running through us and expanding out of us to connect us with a wider world, something that is full of energy, a channel of life flowing in us and out of us and connecting us with the world. The more joyful our own lives, even when the people around us have no understanding of what this thing is. The Hindu tradition speaks of this as play, Leela, the constant play of the world. And the way this is presented is as a dance between the human and the divine. I'm so grateful that Davlin is connected with our congregation and that she comes to be with us at just the right time. The song that she led us in, she had no knowledge of what she was speaking, but it was so perfect for the story that we are telling today. This idea that there is something greater than us, by whatever name we call it, however we understand it, and then there is us. But the real value of that is not that there is or isn't this or that, but that it starts to move. Us and this thing greater than us, this thing that we sense and feel. In the Hindu tradition, this is a God and a lover dancing together, dancing in ecstasy. And the closer they draw in this highly erotic, intimate, beautiful cosmic dance, the human and the divine moving together, the less you can discern where one ends and the other begins, what the distinction between either is. And the imagery that's presented in this tradition, figures that are fully fused, human and divine, male and female, are worshipped as an embodiment of what is most possible in human life. So I just want to say real quick that in our culture, when we try to negate non-binary and trans identity, we're failing to realize that in cultures around the world, gender fluidity is seen not only as okay or good for some people, but is actually the way that God shows up. God is trans. Also in Genesis 1, if you want to know, but all things flowing together in a union so merged that there's no longer distinction. Utter bliss. This is not the absence of suffering and difficulty. The Hindu tradition posits a cosmos of suffering from which one seeks liberation. But the solution to that liberation is not to vanish. It is to merge ourself in this plane of suffering with that source of joy that makes of us our complete self. Full union of human and divine into a being in the world, both immanent and transcendent, cosmic and right here on the ground at the same time. Perfect paradox of our lives. And I saw that in those leaders yesterday in that service. People who deal with the suffering of this world every day in their bodies and their families and their lives, like all of us do, and in their own particular ways. But when they gathered in that space and called on love and expressed that love within themselves and reached that channel of energy, that golden channel throbbing inside of them, and connected it between them and shared it out with the world, everything was there in those people. Their little selves emanating light. And when it was over, the leader, who is here today, turned to another and said, "That was really good." Yes, it was. This is inside of you. Even if you barely feel it, it's inside of you. Whatever that small trace of joy is, pull it. Just touch it. Let it grow in strength, slowly and slowly. The more that you do, the more light emerges from you, the more light you feel within and emanates from you. It really does. Until the distinction between you in this world of suffering and the healing light that you pour out is indiscernible. And you are everything. And it is good. I have bad news. When we live in this way, following our bliss into an emerging power for the good of all, it's almost guaranteed to get harder and harder. Something about discovering this within ourselves that invites greater and greater challenges. Those of you nodding your heads know. But when we share this gift in us, this joy that is not only for us, but to move through us into the world, the challenges themselves become a vehicle for spreading that light. I'll give you an example. There's a person in this congregation who said, "This better not become a sermon." So it's only going to be part of a sermon, Andy. We have a member of this congregation who just loves to help. It's such a huge joy. She almost can't sit still. She loves to make practical things happen. And in the midst of all that we have going on in the congregation right now, in the interfaith service yesterday, and Nancy Manlove's service yesterday, and Ann Garner being out for recovery, and all of this stuff, whether we would be able to pull off a booth at Upstate Pride yesterday was a serious question mark. Would we be able to do it? But luckily, we had exactly one volunteer. One person willing to set up a table and a tent and to display items from our congregation so that people would know that this is a place of love for all people, to witness to that, to go out into the sweltering June heat and represent love. This one person. We sat down to plan, how in the hell would this work? Strict drop-off time, pick-up time, all this stuff to lug around. How would it work? You've never seen such an eager person. with ideas about how to do even more and share even more, add even heavier items to the hall. And I said, maybe we just shouldn't do this at all. Maybe this is one step too far for us this year. But no. Joy in giving. Joy in service. Bursting out of the balloon skin, wanting to connect with the whole universe. So Andy Myers drove her VW Bug to Greenville yesterday, packed so full of stuff I think it was coming out of the windows. Pulled up right on time for the drop-off. Covered herself in sweat, setting up solo. And as she worked, others came. People from this congregation coming by who said, "Do you need a hand?" "You need a hand." "Me help." People just walking down the street. "Can I help you? Can I give you a hand?" Helping out. People from other congregations saying, "Oh my God, I wish our congregation had a booth. Can we join yours? Can we help yours?" Just like any little baby sister city would do, right? When we share this gift, this thing deep inside, and the challenges mount, but we share it anyway. It goes so far beyond us, calling others into their gift, their joy, the blessing in us, blessing others, calling them to bless. Not one balloon inflated, but many bouncing around, bringing joy, calling us all to our true selves, awakening to what this world can really be. Let's give Andy Myers a standing ovation.
If you'll turn in your gray silver hymnals to number 100, we'll sing "I've Got Peace Like a River." I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got
From theologian Frederick Buechner, vocation is the place where our deep gladness meets the world's deep need. Everybody come to the potluck, whether you brought anything or not.
Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what has happened. What are you going to do with your balloon?
Oh, we're going to end with a little freedom chant. I'm sure you've heard this, but I'm going to ask you a question. What do you want? And you're going to say freedom, and I'm going to say